impromptu live. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted live because I felt it was important to talk a little bit about Porto Alegre, but I'm just getting over a cold. I'll try to mute the mic when I have a coughing fit. But I'm up here on the top of my roof, on the rooftop of my Airbnb, which is like this chill spot. Don't know if anybody's going to join because it's kind of a random live, and it's a Monday morning where you guys are, I guess. But Porto Alegre, is this place worth checking out? In a word, I would say yes, but with certain conditions. For example, I made the mistake, well, a little error in coming here during the Brazilian winter or heading into the Brazilian winter. Like for example, I got here. What's up, Charles James? It's good. Freezing my butt off here, but I'll get to that. When I got to Porto Alegre, the weather was fantastic. Even when I was in Florida, the weather was, on average about 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit or like, 25 degrees Celsius. So it was comfortable. It was perfect for me. And the sun generally is much hotter in Brazil. But got to Porto Alegre, and for the first couple of days, it was, during the day it was semi-hot. I would say maybe like 70 degrees Fahrenheit or so, more or less. It was comfortable. Now, it changed. All of that changed on Saturday. I definitely can compare the winters. I would. Let me finish my point now, and I'll get to that. But yeah, Saturday night or Friday going to Saturday, temperature dropped by it was 30 Celsius. So what is that, like 90 something like that Fahrenheit, something like that, and it dropped all the way to like 55 Fahrenheit and poured rain. I even got sick because the massive temperature change. So all in all, getting to the point is, don't come here if you don't like cold weather at this time of year. Like we're in June. Don't come here for the months of like June, July, August. I would sort of get here after September. Okay. Yeah, where Canadian winters are brutal. Okay, so there's no comparison really, and I find that it's just this place. The winters are remind me of the fall in Canada, at least in Toronto. Um, it feels like early November weather, and November generally is kind of rainy and just damp and cold, and I don't like that weather at all. Like I'm no wuss when it comes to weather. I can deal with it, but if I don't have to, I'm not going to. I'm not going to stay in a place where it's freezing. I, I I wanted to check this out for a long time, so that's why I booked it. Plus, it was a bit cheaper this time of year. Obviously, we know why. So, Porto Alegre, is it worth checking out? Like I said, yes. I would only do, for me, I would only do like a 3 day, maximum 3 days here, because you start finding yourself running out of ideas of what you can do here. As a content creator, I put 5 days. I stayed 5 days. I'm leaving today. In fact, after this live, I'm going right to the airport, going to Curitiba, which is going to be just as cold, if not colder. So I don't know. Take that with what you will. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, maximum 3 days, I would say. If you're not a content creator and you just want to get to know the city, has a lot of historical things, some chill spots that you can go to, like eat out and whatnot. Uh, yeah, 3 days maximum if I was you. Brendan Williams, are the girls easy to get with in Brazil? Depends on which state you go to. I would say the more south you go, the least easy it is to hook up with somebody, just based on the receptiveness of people. People are more receptive than, like, let's say, Rio de Janeiro. You know, That seems to be like the place where most girls are mostly receptive and more open. But don't take my word for it. Check it out. What's up, Racket Club? Uh, yeah, so Porto Alegre, it has a lot of cool touristy places like historical things. The center is pretty cool. Don't choose the neighborhood that I chose. I think it's called Bom Fim, for like good end, if you translate to English. For those of you just entering the chat now, I'm just getting over a cold, so if they hear me like with a raspy cough or something, I apologize ahead of time. But it sucks getting cold when you're traveling. Um, so yeah, 3 days maximum here. Try to come when the weather is nice. Like it looks like it's nice there, right? It's sunny, but it actually is. It's like 55 Fahrenheit today, so 12 degrees Celsius, 55 or 56 Fahrenheit. It's not that warm, and you get the winds. I don't know if the cold breeze is coming off the river. I have no idea, but it's certainly not the best weather. It's when you think of Brazil, you don't necessarily think of this. You think of hot weather and beaches and things like that. Here, no. The only reason I wake up and I go out and it's cold here, excuse me, I only know that it's Brazil because I hear Portuguese and then certain things. But other than that, I'm like, wow, did I come back to Canada or something in the fall? It's not that great. Um, yeah, I would say don't come to Porto Alegre if it's your first time coming to Brazil. Always go to maybe Rio or São Paulo or one of those places, and not just based on the weather. I'm talking strictly because of things to do. Because I found myself, if I hadn't got sick on Saturday, and I'm almost getting there, I just have that nagging cough. But you'll kind of like run out of things to do. I did quite a bit of content. I don't know if I did 3 or 4 videos. I'm not sure, like vlogs mainly and stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of you run out of things to do, especially when it gets cooler. You don't want to really be outside. If you're a cold weather person, you'll love it here because there's nice parks to visit. They have like those big ass parks that they have in a lot of the bigger Brazilian cities that you can just chill out. And if it's sunny like this, it's just comfortable. Just bring a nice jacket or whatever and wear pants. I'm glad I brought the jacket and jeans because I was thinking I don't need it. It's Brazil. I've never been to the south, so I didn't know what to expect. And everyone was telling me, "Oh, it's cold in the south," and they were right. I don't expect the Curitiba, where I'm going next, to be any better, but it'll be kind of neat to check out another new city. So, Porto Alegre, safety wise, which is important. Okay, first night I got here, I went out filming without any reference points, nothing, just straight up walk down the street filming, like a vlog type thing. I'll tell you, it was sketchy, man. Like from my neighborhood where I'm staying, all the way to like Central when everything was starting to close, it felt like very Rio-esque. If you know Rio, you'll know some certain places are kind of sketchy, very dodgy looking. Some guys. Even you'll see if you want to check out the video. One guy's like, "Oh, are you filming? Are you filming, man?" I said, "Yeah, don't worry, I'm not filming your face." So it's it's got some sketchy locations. Charles Jones, yeah, personally, I don't do winter. Even though I've been to Buenos Aires in July and São Paulo in August, I'm more of a summer dude. That's why I live in Texas and come to Rio in February. Yeah, amen to that, man. I mean, I'll never come to south of Brazil winter time here. I won't go in São Paulo. I will avoid cold weather as much as possible. This is why I left Canada. This is one of the big reasons why I left Canada. I didn't want to deal with this crap because for me, I don't know why I don't do well cold weather. My body just can't handle it. Like my hands get super freezing, even though this isn't even that cold in comparison to Canadian winters. It's go down to like -10. I'm done with all that. New Wave Brazil says Porto Alegre and Curitiba got invaded by many out-of-state people, and the state became worse. Unfortunately, big cities drive state migration more. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, everyone says that Curitiba is pretty safe, like one of the safest cities next to Floripa. So I'll check it out and see. Hopefully, it doesn't rain because that really doesn't allow you to get out and do vlogs and videos and whatever content. Uh, Bracket Club asks, should I pack a light jacket with me to Rio in August? Yeah, like maybe like what I have here. It's not too thick, but you likelihood of you needing it would be not that high. It does not get that cold like it does here in Rio. Trust me. I actually spent a month in Rio in August a few years back, and I didn't feel too cold. It's only when it rains in Rio then it gets maybe 20 Celsius, like 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest that you'll feel. Good morning, Mr. 2, or good afternoon where I'm at. MZ, Yona, good informative video as usual. I would hate I would hate the thought of leaving Toronto and experiencing cool weather. I'll be back in Marika. Sorry, I didn't see Marika January till April, and looking forward to melting on the beach. Yeah, I mean, I only booked it, like I said, the south of Brazil just for because I haven't been here. It's a bit cheaper this time of year, so I was willing to risk it a little. I did get lucky for the first week or so. The weather was good, like it wasn't freezing. Maybe at night a little chilly, but not like this. So no regrets. I mean, it is what it is. I go back to Rio on Friday, so there it's about 25 Celsius, like 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's more than comfortable for me. Back to the safety thing, Porto Alegre, it's a little dodgy. So you got to just be careful. A lot of people say there's petty theft. Um, I don't find it as dangerous, nowhere near as dangerous as Rio. Like it's the same with any big city you go to, right? I mean, there's always going to be certain dangers, and you just got to keep your eyes peeled and be aware of your surroundings. Um, stick to try to stick to where there's groups of people. So I'll also talk about some things that kind of bothered me here. Central closes early. Like there's nothing going on downtown Rio Grande, Porto Alegre, especially on like weekends. Not Saturday until maybe 1 p.m. There's certain things to do. I don't like the variety of like coffee places around here. It's kind of a hit or miss. Um, Restaurants, same thing. You got to sort of really search for a good place to eat. There are some. I highly recommend the Brazilian barbecue here because this is if you're gonna come here for one thing, if there's one thing you're gonna come here for, let's say two things: the historical aspect, um, as well as the Brazilian barbecue because they're well known for it. The Gaúcho barbecue, Gaúcho meaning cowboy, Brazilian cowboy, and fantastic. I went yesterday. I was feeling like really like shit yesterday. Today I feel better, but yesterday I felt like real shit. I went to a soccer game. There will be a video of that coming out, a vlog, both with the game and the barbecue place. Fantastic barbecue, like best one I've ever had in Brazil, bar none. And there's really good ones down here. You just gotta search and like wow, unbelievable. And I paid 104 reais for rodizio, which is all you can eat basically. They keep coming around with the meat, and it's so overwhelming. uh, Stork 2, if you have a choice between Rio and Porto at any aspect, which one would it be? Like preference? Rio for sure. Like Rio's, even though it's not a perfect place and it's got a lot of issues and things like that, it's still for me number one. Um, if it didn't have all the problems that it has, man, it would be the place to be. It is the place to go and visit and be. And I don't want to live in the city anymore of Rio. But I mean, where it comes to nightlife, restaurants, meeting girls, guys for a woman, there's you know I mean, sky's the limit in Rio, man. Like, and the weather. It never gets this cold in Rio. I've never ever felt this cold. Maybe up in like the mountainous areas in Rio, which I haven't been to, it could get a little chilly. But nah, it's for me, it's the place to be. Until I go to the northeast of Brazil, Nordeste, then we'll see. I can't say, but so far it's still number one on my list. If you guys have any questions about Porto Alegre, by all means. Uh, Charles Jones, International or Grêmio? Probably Inter since Grêmio got spanked by Flamengo last night. Yeah, I heard. I didn't catch the game, but I was at the International game in Vasco last night, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I almost left early because it was really cold, and I was stupid me. I'm like, oh, if I wear just a jacket or and the jersey or whatever, I'll be fine. I wore shorts, a thin long sleeve shirt, and then the jersey on top. It wasn't cold until maybe late in the second half, but really cool place. I did a drone shot at the stadium as well. If you like soccer, you should check out a game here in the south as well. That could be another reason, to come. I totally did it randomly. I didn't plan it. It was just like if there's a game, there's a game. Gremio wasn't playing at home, so I went to the international game. Really cool. People are friendly. I did like I went up to people recording, asking who they think's going to win the game. People. That's another thing I would say. The people here get somewhat of a bad rap as being not as friendly as karaoke. Sure, they're not as open and friendly as karaoke, and no one really is. Like, who really is? But people are still friendly. I talked to people. People gave me directions when I needed help. When I told them I was from Canada, they're like, "Oh, cool, you're a long way from home," and things like that. I can't say that people were not friendly here. Sure, they're a little bit more closed, but could you blame them with this weather? Like it's cold, man. um, excuse me, but nah, people were friendly here. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. The stork too. Any idea of Finnish rentals in Porto? Any ideas? I did Airbnb. I can't really say, man. I mean, the Airbnb I had was pretty good. I'm probably gonna after this trip maybe start staying in hotels more because I find the prices isn't that much different, and I don't like having to deal with certain times you have to check in and meet the person, or there's like an intricate way that you have to get the key, or like sometimes Airbnb just is not worth the hassle. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm gonna try to see if the hotel is roughly the same price, if not um, cheaper. I'm gonna try and stick with hotels. It's just and if it comes to the breakfast, even better. Uh, Speaking of breakfast, I am so sick of Brazilian breakfast, especially here. It's all for me as somebody who likes to eat relatively healthy, and I don't eat a lot of stuff for breakfast. This is going to be a mini rant, guys. I don't like eating cake. I don't like eating fried shit. I don't like eating any of this stuff that's gonna, make me feel heavy until the next meal. Um, what I like for breakfast is just like scrambled eggs, maybe a piece of toast or something like, the typical North American style breakfast. Fruit salad. I don't want here. I could not find anything that would resemble that. And this comes back to Rio. They have those places. Here it's all there's a lot of places. It's mostly all around Brazil, but damn man, here it's like all these cafe places. The coffee is good, but the choice for eating breakfast, like a meal or something, it's all cakes or tarts or whatever. I just I'm so over that, man. Charles Jones, oh, you're a huge soccer fan. Yeah, then you'll like seeing a game here. I paid 100 reais for really good seats, which is like 20 bucks US, so you can't go wrong with that. New Wave Brazil, yeah, some Brazilian breakfasts are stuff. Yeah, I mean it's garbage. I hate to say it. It's all like sugar and starches and carbs. I just want like fruit salad with maybe fried eggs. I prefer scrambled eggs. As light as possible. Like I don't eat a big breakfast. Coffee, I've never had a problem with any coffees in anywhere in Brazil. Goes without saying. So Yeah, let me. By the way, let me just give you guys a view. A look at the view here. It's worth checking out. Like I'm on the 12th floor here. I don't know how well you can see it, but maybe you can see really a good panoramic view of the city. The airport is in this direction, so head there soon right after this live. Give you a look around. I know what I was going to say now, guys, about your stay here. Don't stay in bon fin, which means good end. I would recommend, because I checked out a lot of the neighborhoods here and I didn't really do good enough amount of research. Try to stay in the neighborhood called Cidade Baixa. It's just maybe 15, 20-minute walk from here, but it's got like more options for things you need. Like around here, there's really not much. I'd have to I'd have to take Uber to get to the next like supermarket. I mean, they have them, but it's kind of very sparse. Uh, the store too. Good call. Eat healthy. Yes. I mean, I don't want that heavy weighted stuff. Um, oh, traveling around here, moving around the city. Um, it's going to be practically Uber or taxi. I mean, there's no metro system. The bus system, unless you really want to get to know it for a short stay, it's not really worth it. I mean, if you're living in the city, obviously you might want to switch to that if you want to try and save some money. Uber is probably a bit cheaper here than it is in Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo, maybe like 5 to 10% cheaper. I've noticed based on the distance and where you go in the city, a little bit cheaper. Prices here are like food and grocery and things like that, maybe about the same as Rio, maybe a tad cheaper. I wouldn't say it's much cheaper. Uh, New Wave Brazil says, based on its big size and beach, Fortaleza may be an interesting city compared to Rio. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check out Fortaleza. I'm going to do the Northeast at some point. I'm going to go back home this weekend. I go back. I stay in Curitiba only 4 days or so. I go back Friday night, and then I'm going to sort of recoup, do some editing, chill out, soak in some hot weather. Hopefully, I'll be over this cold. I mean, I'll probably be over by tomorrow. Hopefully, if I get some good rest tonight. I like to hit the ground running. Whenever I get to a new place, I like to hit the ground running with no real destination. Just arrive, leave the stuff, and go walk. Just do a like first analysis type of recon video. The Stork 2 asks, how much is a bus fare in Porto Alegre? I'm not really sure. It's a good question. I didn't take the bus here, and I didn't even bother researching it because I typically don't take public transit when I go to a city I don't know. Excuse me. Rio, I did when I first went there. The metro is good in Rio. They don't have metro here, like I mentioned. Buses, I think they have a train here, like how would I say, like an above ground train type of thing. But I don't know how much it was. I didn't even check it out. Unfortunately, it poured rain all of Saturday, so I didn't even get out all of Saturday. I basically just stayed in, recouped, did a little bit of editing. It was kind of a blessing because um, I was sick, so I needed the day. I needed the day off to just sort of like try to get my bearings and my health back, a little bit of energy. So I slept most of the day, did some editing. Porto Alegre, yeah, it's not. It wouldn't be my first choice if I was like. There's a lot of. If I was you and you haven't been to the south of Brazil and you haven't been to the north, maybe try the north first. I mean, I haven't been there yet, but I don't know. There's just so many cities you can choose from. Um, like if you're gonna come down to the south and only come to Porto Alegre, it's not worth it. I would say you want to check out a bunch of the cities like Floripa, Gramado, Canela. A lot of people said these are the cities you want to check out. I didn't have time. I won't. I don't have time. In the future, maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, try to do as many locations as you can because then it makes it worth it. Charles Jones asked, "How much longer are you gonna be POA, Porto Alegre. I'm leaving today. Actually, I'm gonna head to the airport like right after this live and head to Curitiba. About an hour and 15 minute flight. So off to New City. I was here since last Wednesday. I probably stayed one day too long, maybe 2 days too long. But as I said, as a content creator, you need to sort of give yourself a little bit of buffer, like a little bit more time to get the content, but also don't try to make the trip only about content creating because you want to try to absorb stuff um, personally, right? Like, cause when you're on a trip, you don't want to just live through the lens, right? It's fine to get content, and even if you don't have a YouTube channel, just to get photos and some video to post on Facebook or whatever you prefer, you still want to try to like enjoy it, and it's just for me, it's a spiritual thing too. Whenever I travel, I go to a new place, I want to absorb the culture. You know, that just it may sound a little cheesy, but that's so 5 days for me was good. Let's start to if you have any questions to ask anybody who's in the chat, just re- refer to me and I can ask. But most people don't really want to be, asked those questions. No offense to Stork too. But if you have any questions, just direct them to me or whatever. Unless it's something like if it's not personal or anything like that, okay, cool. But just wanted to throw that out there. So I'm gonna end it live like within about 5 minutes or so, something like that. Because I'm gonna head to the airport. I like to get there in a good time so I don't feel rushed. I don't know about you guys, but hate getting to the airport when you're like, oh shit, I don't know. And I did not travel heavy. I traveled very light, only carry on. That's one thing that I prefer. Travel light as possible. Um, yeah. What else can I say about Porto Alegre? Uh, they have some good places where you can check out the sunset. I did one a video over. It's by the river, by the riverside, just on the southwest of the city, which is an amazing sunset, and it was good weather that day too. So, um, yeah, population here. I've noticed that it's probably like 50 to 60% white, maybe a tad bit more. It's much like Floripa. Um, they also have apparently the city was was what do you call it, colonized by people from the Azores as well. So the Azorean people like to come to the south. I guess they like the chilly weather. I don't know. Apparently, because they have a lot of places around the city that were named after the Azores, the Azorians, the islands in Portugal, which is where my family originates from. My father was born there, so that was really cool historically. Um, they have this. They have beaches wise. They do have some. I didn't bother going. Obviously, they're not ocean beaches. They have one that's like way south of the city, southwest of the city, and it's called Ipanema Beach, and it's nowhere near as good as the Ipanema Beach in Rio. I was gonna check it out, but the weather was crap. Like if Saturday had been like today, I probably would have checked it out, but I didn't bother going. So, uh, New Wave Brazil asks, have you found any cities with better development than Rio, more modern shops, infrastructure, and buildings? Excuse me. I would say here the infrastructure is a bit better. It's only a 200. I say only, but it's a 250-year-old city, whereas in Rio is like 500 years old. I made the same comparison to Floripa and Balneário Camboriú. It's probably, I would say, Floripa is so far the best infrastructure city I've been to in Brazil. Uh, Things function, it's clean. Here, it's not terribly dirty. I find that they do have good garbage pickup. Um, they have hospitals a little bit closer by. It seems more modern hospitals. A lot of the buildings look a bit newer, in better condition. Um, yeah, I mean, I would say it's a little bit more advanced than Rio. Rio just seems to be way behind, but I don't. That may have to do with the lack of funding, but also the age of the city. It could be the reason for that. Let's see here. Charles Jones. I think with colonization, most of them tried to find a place that was as close to what they're familiar with. Example, the English with the Falkland Islands. Yeah, I think they rather go to where they're sort of used to, where what they prefer. Me, it's like it's so funny. I'm a Canadian. We get most of the year cold weather. I want to go where it's hot. So, can you blame me? I want to go where the people are friendly and it's warm weather, hot weather, whatever you want to call it, and just no snow. So yeah. What can I say else about Porto Alegre, guys? I mean, I will do a video about my observations. There's a lot more to talk about. It'll be a video specifically talking about that, and you'll see some of my vlogs where I walk around. I've never seen so many Brazilians wearing winter-esque type clothing ever. Like it was kind of funny. I was the one least appropriately dressed for the weather. It was really funny. The guy comes from Canada, so yeah. If anybody has any other questions, if I missed something, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't. I'm just sorry to do this as a random. I just wanted to get one done here in Porto Alegre. I probably would have done it yesterday, but I just wasn't feeling up to it. But the trip continues. Can't stop with the content. Can't stop exploring. No stupid little cold is gonna stop me. I will get some good rest tonight. Hopefully, I'll be right 100% tomorrow. Yeah. Any questions about Porto Alegre, guys? And I'm more than happy to answer. And for those of you who did not join the live and are watching this after the fact, yeah, post some questions down below. I'll answer the best I can about the city. I mean, I'm not an expert on the city, but I'm glad I did check it out. The south of Brazil. No regret. The only regret is, which is a tiny one, is that I probably shouldn't have come when it was going to get this cold. But it is what it is. All right, all right, guys. So this is a short live. Thanks for watching, everybody. Last call for questions. Otherwise, I'll see you guys very soon in Curitiba. I'm lagging a little bit in the videos because I just if any of you are content creators in this live, you'll know how it is to like enjoy the day, get some content, then have to edit it and all that stuff. But slowly but surely, I'm gonna have videos come out. I'll try to have 2 a week, but they're coming. The videos are coming. Some good ones. You know. Thanks everybody for participating. Hope you have a great Monday. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I still have a whole bunch coming from Balneario, Porto Alegre here, and then Curitiba. See you guys in the next live or in the next videos that I post. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Take care.